Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to another double unboxing, but these aren't loaners going straight back to the owners like last week's pair of almost matching citizens. These two are being previewed today in anticipation of full reviews coming up soon on the channel. They were sent to me by Joma Shop in a batch of 4 watches that arrived with the Hamilton chrono that I bought from them a few weeks ago. As such, this video is sponsored by Joma Shop. I do not have to return the watches. All Joma Shop ever ask is that I leave a link to each watch in the description of the video, and I shall do just that. And it's 2 watches today, both under $250, that I think offer incredible value for money at this point in time. We all know that life has got much more expensive over the last few years. Food, petrol, rent, everything. So it's getting harder and harder for me to find watches that still offer truly stunning value. Watches that actually look cheap. But you wait till you see these 2 big brand nuggets. A Swiss-made Tissot with arguably the best automatic movement you can buy for less than $1,000 for less than $250. And a big and chunky Orient diver with sapphire crystal for less than $220. Perfect for those who love the looks of the Kamasu but who prefer a larger watch. Let's flip the camera and peel off some stickers. What am I going to open first? What am I going to leave till last today? Which is the entree, which is the main course? Do you know what? I have not looked at this Orient Triton at all, so I'm going to save that to the main course today. I've looked at this Tissot PR100 or different variants of the PR100 a couple of times already and always been really impressed with what I found. First up, I bought and reviewed a quartz one way back in 2018. Then I got from Joma Shop a COS chronometer grade automatic back in 2019, which I then compared to the Seiko Sarb not long after, middle of 2019. The one in the box today is the Powermatic 80 version. As I said in the intro, I rate the Powermatic 80 movement as one of the best movements you can pick up in a watch for less than $1,000. So to see it in a watch for less than $250 is frankly ridiculous. Talking of ridiculous, have you seen these new Tissot boxes with the pop-up Tissot factory? I quite like them. No surprises there. And talking of ridiculous, you can get this one 2-tone on a metal bracelet with the Powermatic 80 for less than $250, and you can get a ladies version on a bracelet for less than $200. Surely that makes the Tissot PR100 range some of the best value watches you can buy, full stop, at this point in time. Alright, not much of a sticker peeling, more an unbagging with this one. Let's do it. Well, maybe an unbagging slash unwrapping. So there's good and there's bad with this little tag here. The bad is the model number T101.407.16.051.00. The good though is that they give you half of the spec sheet on the tag. So stainless steel construction, 100 meters of water resistance, the rotor designates automatic, and the S stands for sapphire. Now, is it perfect? No, don't be silly. The Seiko Sarb actually beat it that day, but the Seiko Sarb is gone and is not coming back, so dry your eyes, tiny tears. The Tissot PR100 shows no signs of leaving the market, and it seems to be getting cheaper and better as they pop that Powermatic 80 caliber in the back of it. Now, perhaps the sizing is going to be slightly too svelte for some, 39mm in diameter, but only 10.4mm thick with a super compact 45mm lug to lug, 20mm lug width, and on this supplied leather strap variant, I thought I would try the leather this time. It weighs in at a mere 65 grams. I've already talked about the push-pull crown, 100 meters of water resistance, the sapphire crystal, and it is obviously 316L stainless steel. Now the front of the watch is a little bit plain Jane, I admit. The back of the watch really is where it's at though. That is a scorching movement for the price they are charging for one of these. Makes this PR100 such a great choice as a daily. You can literally take it off at 5 o'clock on a Friday, put it back on at 9 o'clock on a Monday, and it will still be ticking thanks to that 80-hour power reserve. The leather band on this one, perhaps an area where they saved a few dollars. It's comfortable enough, but it will require some breaking in. At least it has some half-decent Tissot high polish branded hardware. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. I love this size of watch. I love this category of watch, the Gada watch. You genuinely can go anywhere and do anything with this one, thanks to that increased water resistance level compared to a lot of typical dress watches anyway. So it's nice to see the PR100 again after a couple of years absence. I know the Gentleman has been getting a lot of the headlines as far as Tissot's kind of sub $1,000 do-it-all watches are concerned these days. But yeah, this one has still got plenty going for it, especially if you can pick it up for the prices that Joma Shop are charging. On to the Orient Triton then. Now, I didn't look at the old Orient Triton. You know the one with the incredibly awkwardly placed power reserve and even more awkwardly replaced dial text. Look at it crushed between the pinion and the index at 6 there. It just doesn't look good. I was distracted by the Orient Kamasu. This newer variant though looks really quite good. A little more refined perhaps, a little less fussy than the Kamasu, and like I said in the intro, larger diameter dimension, one for the big guys and girls, or if you just like a big watch on your wrist. Let's get into the box. And there it is. They must have known it was coming here to me in Australia because the box was upside down, then the watch was upside down in the box. Second hand is ticking away, which is always a good sign. Looks like it's another one that's more of an unwrapping than an unstickering. Let's do it. Do you know what? That's not nearly as big as I thought it was going to be either. I've always shied away from this one, not only because of the looks, but because of the size. I prefer 40 to 41, whereas this one is a 43 plus. Doesn't really look like it. I suspect it's not going to feel like it on wrist either. Let's give this one a bit of a clean and size up the bracelet. Yeah, it's definitely a little neater than I had anticipated. It is still 43mm in diameter, but it's only 13mm thick. Now lug to lug is just over 50mm. Don't expect therefore the super compact lug to lug of an SKX, but if you've got a slightly larger wrist, this one should fit well. 22mm lug width, sized up for me 7-inch wrist. It weighs in at 170 grams on the supplied bracelet. All stainless steel, sapphire crystal is the big draw card on this one, coming in at $215. You don't get that from a Seiko Samurai, you don't get that from a Seiko Turtle. You're looking at spending $350 plus on one of the King Samurais or King Turtles to get sapphire. And it feels really comfortable on wrist, I must say. Lovely high polish to the case, underside of the case and the case back as well. I think that's the reason for it. Relatively long 51mm lug to lug, no problem here on my average size wrist. The bracelet though, yeah, that is a cheapo press clasp as you'd expect. There's hollow end links and you can feel it. It feels, yeah, a little bit rattly, but you don't get everything for 215 bucks. Movement is an Orient in-house caliber F6722, exactly the same as found in the current gen Kamasu. They have moved the crown down to 4 o'clock though for a better comfort fit, but it does mean the date complication moves down to 4 as well. Looks a little bit awkward with that clipped half moon semicircle index down there, I think. Overall then, I am pleasantly surprised by the Triton, how it looks and how it wears. Black on black with just a tiny touch of colour is perhaps a little conservative, I admit. There are some more interesting colour variants, there's a blue, there's a green, etc. just like with the Kamasu, but it definitely looks smaller than I was expecting and it definitely wears better than I was expecting also. So there you have it. I think that'll do for now. My initial impressions of these two. You can tell I had my sensible hat on when I picked them, can't you? But sometimes sensible is good, especially if it's going to be a watch that is a mainstay, a kind of core piece from your collection. I think these two, the brands on offer, the quality associated with those brands, the very, very reasonable prices that are being charged for these two watches, considering the specs that they both offer, I think either of these could become a mainstay in any budget collection. If you fancy watching another vid, why not check out my comparison of the chronometer grade PR100 versus the Seiko Sarb or the Orient Kamasu, still a cracking watch for the price. Thanks for watching, I'll see you again soon.